Good morning, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. So today is no different from the last 3 years. I want to say thank you for all of your support, all your beautiful comments, all of you who trust me to do personal readings for you. A huge thank you. I am totally, absolutely still 100% grateful for being able to provide this service to you. So thank you. I sort of thought about it very humbly yesterday because I thought a lot of readers on here provide a free service and don't do personal readings, and that sort of is really an incredible thing to do for people to help bring them the messages. So I admire each and every one of the readers on here for that reason. If you are being negative about my readings, I don't really sort of go, oh, I'll give them another chance, or I'll let it go this time. I hide you from the channel. So if you wonder why the next day you don't have access to my channel, then it's because I've blocked you. So just think about when you're being critical about other people, that it does trigger people, and it's incredibly one of my triggers. If I can't fix it, it triggers me. So it's out of my control. So rather than put up with that, I'll just move on. Okay, did I say we're using the Gilded Tarot Royale? I think I did. Okay, the only thing I can think of that I've got coming up at the moment that I need to talk to you about is Linda the Psychic Pinup and I are still talking about doing some more platform shows. We worked out last time the things that we needed to do differently, and we'll try a different approach this time around, and we're hoping to do them in different time slots so we can get other people to join in. So be looking out for that. And the other thing I do have to say is I'm currently looking for a date in September to run an intermediate class. I know a lot of you have asked me about that, so I will be running an intermediate class in September. All right, let's get into this reading. Okay, Two of Wands coming through. Wow, nice card to start off with. The Two of Wands sort of talks about, and I have a feeling we've sort of come across this card a little bit in the last few days. The Two of Wands is a card that talks about taking a different direction. In this card, in this deck, this card portrays two completely new possibilities. Generally, we see one possibility either exhausted, or we're sort of moving away from that and trying to take a new direction. And maybe this is what this person is doing, looking at what they've been doing up until now and choosing to move in a slightly different direction. But this person is making some sort of decision. Now, this card for me is always about a crossroads. It's like coming up to a place in your life where you have to choose which way to go. Okay, so for some of you, I feel this card for me this morning is representing more independent stability, or more stability within ourselves. This is about forming partnerships and having long-term commitments with people, but I feel like here either you're preparing for that, or you're choosing to move in a direction that moves you towards this. So it feels to me like you are looking for something in your life because you are feeling that you are at a point that's very stable, ready to move to the next phase, and it's like you're getting yourself ready here to move in a new direction. Or you're going to say, I've got no nails. Yes, I had to take my nails off. It's been about 6 weeks, I think, since I've had them done, and they were getting a bit loose. So I removed them yesterday. So that's it, probably till Christmas, because we're all in lockdown. Nails aren't an option. They're my guilty pleasure, and they're not an option at the moment. And I've been having my nails done for like 30 years. I was doing them when I was working behind the bar, in the days when it was sort of not many people had it done, and I always was my thing. and it's really hard to work without them. I can't even play on the keyboard now. It's like learning a whole new trick, and then when I have them done again, it will be relearning again. Sorry, aside. We have the hanging man here. So the hanging man is about looking at things from a different perspective. What it means is that often we are either seeing something in our life that needs to be changed, or we're recognizing something in our life that we need to have a different approach to. So I'm feeling here, maybe you're taking a different direction here because you feel you need to approach something in a very different way to what you have before. Now, this is how we learn. Because we do something a certain way and then we realise it's not working for us, so we go back to the drawing board and we say, well, most of us do, go back to the drawing board and say, this isn't working, how can I do this in a different way? And that's when we get into this hanged man energy. So I feel like for some of you, wow, this is so where we are at the moment. This is about working on yourself. But what you're working on yourself for is you're trying to either see the direction you want to go in, you're trying to predict where you want to go, but maybe the universe is sort of pushing you in a certain way. Maybe you're realizing that what you've been doing up until now isn't really serving you. So you're choosing to sort of take a different direction here to bring in stability so that you can create the life you want. Now, for me, the Page of Swords here is talking about for me, this is the investigation of something. It's like perhaps you're looking here, is there a course I need to do? Is it that I need to move in a different direction with my work? Is it that what I've been doing up until now is not really satisfying me? So when the Page of Swords comes through, for me, it's sort of like I'm going to look deeper into this because somehow or another it's just not serving me and doing what it needs to be doing. Okay, so I really do like this. I do. I think it's beautiful. The Seven of Wands is about standing your ground. It's about defiance. It's obstinacy or stubbornness at its best here. So when we're in that Seven of Wands energy, we're not giving up on something. We're going to keep fighting for it. Because after that, we've got the Queen of Cups. So this could represent a person for you. It could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that you're trying to change direction on, perhaps to move towards them or to change the energies between you here. But you're choosing to do this in a very different way. Now, for others of you, that Queen of Cups can represent self-love, love of self. So maybe you're starting to understand the way you've been doing things up until now is not working for you. Now, for many of us, this is sort of where we get into that deep reflection with the Hanged Man, because we look and we see we're not progressing, or we look and see why aren't we progressing, or what is it about ourselves that we need to change, move, or do differently. And that is self-reflection. It doesn't always mean what you're doing is not right for you, but it may not be giving you the right outcomes, let's say. So sometimes we'll choose to do things slightly differently. So it may be as simple as, for example, doing a course around learning to decision make, because you find that you're making decisions, but maybe you don't really think them through. It could be that you are doing something much deeper, like choosing to change the direction you're going in, changing your career, changing certain aspects of yourself that you're not comfortable with. But it also is about taking responsibility for your own journey. So I feel this is where you are building stability here. So if you haven't had a lot of stability in your life, or you felt unstable for a while, ask yourself, where does the stability really lie? Because it doesn't lie outside of yourself, it lies within you. So if you are feeling good about what you're doing, you are invested in your own journey, and you're not putting things outside of yourself, then what you will start to do here is you're going to start fighting for what you want, but doing it in a very different way. So we're not talking fighting by going out and hitting other people or lashing out at other people. What we're doing is we are investing that energy into ourselves. It needs to all go inwards, because there is something here the universe is taking you on a change of direction with. So I'm really not sure what it is for you personally, but we'll have a go. Look, here we are. Ultimate instability. The Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles really are both cards that talk about stability at a feminine and masculine level. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles coming out. So what we're looking at is somebody here who represents that stability within us. And with the Queen, we're talking about the more feminine aspects of ourselves. So we could be talking about learning to really use our intuition. This is very much about self-love and nurturing of oneself. Again, comes back to this very practical application of doing what you need to do to bring yourself into this balance. So if you're feeling imbalanced, you're feeling unstable at the moment, the universe is trying to take you in a direction where you can work on something more substantial within yourself. All right, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. Look at this energy. Honestly, sometimes when I'm talking about it, I think, wow, that is just beautiful. For me, any card that comes up with the Nine of Pentacles talks about us being in this place. So the Nine of Pentacles is all of that and more. This is a person who is, supporting themselves financially, feeling very independent, most likely doing the things they want to do, but being in a place where they feel very satisfied with who they are and the level they're at. Which is sort of with the Queen of Pentacles, just gives rise to more of this energy. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles again is representing the more feminine aspects, where the Nine of Pentacles tend to sort of sit on the more masculine aspects. So the Queen of Pentacles is very focused on her material wealth. She probably has the job she wants to do, but whatever she's doing here, she's feeling very satisfied with where she is. The Queen of Pentacles, however, is more sort of focused on those things that make her internally happy. So I feel like with both of these, to me, this feels like working at having a really good balance of both the feminine and masculine aspects. It is very much about, having the job you want, doing the work you do, making the money you want, but also about eating well, sleeping well, and focusing on the inner things, your intuition, your self-love. But this to me is some sort of completeness here. All right, and then we have this beautiful Fool card with the Victory card. How good's that? So this sort of really gives support to that reading in the beginning, to the mini read. Because what Spirit is saying here is if you feel complete and whole and your life is traveling in the direction you want it to travel in, and you are feeling satisfied with what you want to do, then you will be victorious and you will take the chances you need to take. You will take the risks you need to take. This is completion, beautifully said. So there is something Spirit is getting you to work on here that goes deeper than the day-to-day stuff. This is about getting you to really understand who you are at a deeper level. What makes you feel good? What sort of things could you do to make yourself feel more complete and whole, and thereby bring you more stability in life? All right, so we have the Four of Pentacles. First thing you need to do is let go of something. Look, there it is, self-sabotage. So I look at this and I think, what is it that you're doing that you are stopping yourself achieving this energy? What is it within this energy here that is stopping you reaching where you need to be? Why are you self-sabotaging? Are you not believing in yourself? Are you not looking at yourself at the level you need to look at yourself at? Because something here says to me that you have some sort of belief or idea here of where you need to be. But the thing is, you're not reaching it. So are you setting your sights on something that is not congruent with who you are? So for example, this card for me always stands out with imposter syndrome. And with imposter syndrome, many of us have been through it. Honestly, I sit on this channel thinking all the time, of my life and the way it's panned out, and the challenges and the wins and triumphs that I've had along the way. But every one of them has brought me to this place where I've questioned where I am and what I need to do and where I'm going. The imposter syndrome is something I got when I started getting higher level jobs. So when I started doing management, and then I would move in, I went up into ops management and started managing like large amounts of people, with big responsibilities, multi-million-dollar responsibilities. And there was always this thing inside of me that made me feel, or I made myself feel, that I just wasn't going to be I just wasn't going to be successful, because somehow or another I believed I was something that I wasn't. Now those are the things that are installed in you many, many years before, in your early childhood. So many of us grow up with it, more women than men, unfortunately, grow up with this idea of imposter syndrome. So you can have a look at that. But what you fear most in life is that somebody's going to walk through the door one day and say, hey, you've been lying to us, you're not really good at what you're doing at all, off you go. And that is a fear we carry with us. And it creates a self-sabotage within us. So what we start to do then is, instead of taking the opportunities, our fear of getting found out for being some sort of imposter becomes this self-sacrifice. So we stop giving ourselves opportunities, we stop taking risks, because we feel that somehow or another that someone's going to see us for who we are. It is completely and utterly untrue, but it's where we come from with some sort of negative belief here. We have held on to something that somebody has said to us many, many years ago. We've held on to some idea or somebody's voice in our head. And like I always say to people when I'm working with people, especially coaching, whose voice is it that you're hearing in your head when you hear that voice saying to you, you're an imposter? You're not good enough, you'll never make it. Those sort of things are the things that we hang on to because we feel that that's who we are. But obviously here, the universe is seeing somebody completely different. All right, so we have the Five of Pentacles coming through. Wow, there's some heavy energies in this reading today. Some heavy energies. Okay, I love this. Look, we start off with the Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. And I feel always the Queen of Pentacles is the closest queen to the Empress, because she's the one who's really into the nature and natural things in life. So for me personally, as a reader, I feel she is the next best thing to the Empress. And look at this, the progression is here. But there's something about the way you think about this that is creating a cycle in your life and giving you this sense of sadness all the time. Now, I feel like for some of you, it may be due to somebody else. When I say these limited beliefs, it may be due to romance or a particular person that you've been focused on. So I have to put that out there because I feel that there's an energy here that perhaps you weren't able to manifest a relationship, or you weren't able to manifest the love you wanted here. And because of that, what you've done is you've made it about yourself here. You've made it about yourself and what you couldn't achieve. And this is where the self-sabotage and this idea of imposter syndrome has come from. So somehow or another, because this King of Wands for me, just hold on, I'm just going to put another card on it. Eight of Wands. Knight of Cups. Okay, this is really interesting. Nine of Cups. There is something you've been wishing for, wanting to see come your way. Now, I can't discount the fact that the King of Wands, for very often for me, can denote something to do with, say, for example, your own business. Maybe you can't get your own business going here because you feel like somehow or another, if you do that, it won't be successful, so you don't try, which means you're sabotaging yourself. So this is the cycle for you. So everybody at the moment is being drawn to look at the cycles or the ways of thinking or the illusions that you've created. So for this particular reading, I feel I'm talking to people who somehow have created this illusion that they cannot be successful in their life. Whether that is in relationship, whether it's in regard to having your own business, having your job, whatever you're doing here, you are creating some sort of energy here of a pattern, of a way of doing things, because you're coming up with this Five of Pentacles. So for me, what's happening here is you're holding on to some sort of belief about yourself that you cannot be a success, like this King of Wands here. Why can't you be a success? Because every time you get an opportunity, you come in with this Five of Pentacles energy and you start to put yourself down, or you start to find fault in yourself, thereby creating this pattern of self-sabotage. Now this card here contains this limited belief. Maybe for some of you it's, I can't make it in my own business. Maybe for others of you it's, I can't find the love I want. For others of you it may be, every time I do something it falls over. So that becomes your limited belief. And you are going round and round with this limiting belief, and you are creating this energy here of sabotage. Something is about to change, because I see the Empress energy here. And for me, the Empress energy is about being whole and complete. The Empress has got everything together here. She is ready to birth something new. She no longer wants to do things the way she was doing them back here. She has learned through these energies that what she's been doing up until now has not been serving her. But something is changing very, very quickly here. And for me, this is some sort of opportunity coming to you that is a wish that is going to change the way you see things. But I want to say to you, focusing on the negative here, focusing on the lack, focusing on what you don't have, but then creating this energy which reinforces what you're doing. So it's like, I feel really sad because this is happening, but you're not seeing you're doing it to yourself. So you're going round and round in this sort of energy of this Nine of Wands. You can't finish the cycle out because you keep repeating the same pattern. But you're doing it yourself. Something's going to show you what you're doing though. There's definitely this feeling that something is going to show you what you've been doing up till now that's not working. Because you have a new way to go, and it will bring you a lot more stability within yourself. And if you're trying to create a long-term relationship, it will bring you some satisfaction there as well. But you've got to see it from a different perspective, because you're locked in some way of seeing it that's not serving you. So you need to go and hang yourself upside down for a little while and have a look. Don't do that, please don't do that. But you need to have a look at how you've been doing things, because there's work required here. Now, some of you will go out and look up stuff, you will do some investigation, you will try to understand. You need to let your guard down here, because this is about you loving yourself at a much deeper level. So ask yourself, how much do you love yourself? And how can you love yourself more? How can you love yourself so unconditionally that you do not have this lack mentality? So if you're still feeling, I can't do it, this is not my reading, it's not who I am, then you're still cycling something here that you need to change your way of doing or being. Because there's a wish waiting on your doorstep here. For some of you, it may be a love wish, it may be an offer, but something is changing very, very quickly here with this Eight of Wands. Oh, that one wants to come out, so let's go with that. Oh my goodness, perfect, absolutely perfect. The observer. You know, I say this to people all the time. Be the observer in your life. Don't be in your head all the time. Be the observer. Learn to understand that you can watch what you're doing and you can question it. So if you're stuck in some sort of negative mindset, listen to the way you speak. Listen to the way you present yourself. Because if you're stuck in a negative mindset for a long time, then you might be in a victim mentality, and that will need to change too. Otherwise, you're not going to create what you want. All right, this is about perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. Oh my goodness, that's just exactly what I've said. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much that they only come to believe that these are the only reality. It's an illusion. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Thank you, Spirit, because that was a perfect card to get with that reading. Have a wonderful weekend.